Micah Frankel for CageMinds.com. Tonight, my guest joining us, Jocelyn Lybarger, Lights Out, RFA 31, 2 weeks away, inaugural Strawweight title on the line. Thank you for the time. How you feeling?
I feel awesome, almost 10 days out, and I'm on cloud nine. I'm excited. Everything is, in place, and I'm excited to get to Vegas.
Now, I know a while ago the original announcement was you were going to be part of the Team USA versus Team Brazil event. When was that canceled, and when did you find out that the title fight was next in your future?
I found out 12 days before the fight was officially off because they couldn't find a replacement, with it being Team USA versus Brazil. And the next day I got, my title shot, which, I knew it was going to happen when I found out Kimberly was pregnant, which thank God she found out because, she's having a baby boy, 100% healthy, so that's good news for her. I just knew this is what was in line for me. I'm currently 3-0 in the RFA cage, and, I was just waiting for them to get that big name, and Zoila brings that big name, and, we're going to bring fireworks come October 9th in Las Vegas.
So what was the first thoughts about getting that honor of being put into the inaugural title fight, and 3-0 in that cage, it's become your home now?
I enjoy working for RFA. I love everybody there. They treat me good. They treat all the fighters good. And, I love working for them. And when I got the call, when Mark let me know, I just couldn't stop smiling.
Now, it was about 3 years ago, I believe, the first opportunity I had to interview you. And at that time, Strawweight was new. So how has the body been acclimated now with these years? How has it been doing the weight cut?
Weight cut is on point, there's no allowance for the title fight, so 115.0. I feel great. This whole fight camp, I've been working with Mike Dulce. I'm very good friends with him and his amazing family. And, I'm in contact with him every day. If I need anything, I'll be with him in Vegas. So, everything's been on point. I'm energized. I'm fueled, for doing my 5 rounds of sparring. I feel great, and I'm eating, 6 times a day. So, I'm really happy and in a good place right now.
So what has it been like for you having 2 consecutive camps? You said before finding out it was a 12-day notice before that the last fight was getting canceled. So you've been in camp for a pretty good amount of time here consecutively.
Yeah, this week, actually, tomorrow will be 12 weeks, okay? So when I got the call that it was off, it was a Wednesday afternoon, and that weekend, San Diego Chargers were here playing the Cardinals for week 3 for preseason, and I had tickets because I'm a huge Charger fan. So I called Coach John Crouch and said, all right, I'm taking today off. I'll be in practice tomorrow, but I'm splurging at the game on Saturday. So my whole family came to town from California. We went to the game. We had a fantastic time. And my butt was back into the gym on Monday. So it feels like, me and Coach were just talking about it today, but, this is 12 weeks of, just straight working my ass off. But, the only thing different from a fight camp and training is a lot of it is, the eating and your strength and conditioning changes. But this is what I do full time. I'm training, 2 times a day, and, this is what I love to do.
A bit over 7 months ago, Maria Rios beating her by unanimous decision. What have you been most proud of in your game that you've been able to improve in?
A lot of it is, my wrestling, just being more aware and making everything flow, instead of not having to think about it or anything like that. I know what I need to do to get the takedown or to get up. So we've been working a lot, on my wrestling because, a lot of people say, just stand up. I just like to stand. But, no, I like to push the pace, and we've been working a lot, of course, on the cardio and making sure that, I'm going full speed and pushing the pace for 5 rounds.
And how much is that an emphasis? Because we know Zoila before, she's had issues with making 115 pounds, and that could very well be a huge benefit to you using that cardio.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys all know what Benson Henderson looks like when he fights his 5 rounds, right? And we have the same strength and conditioning coach. We're all doing the same stuff. So, you better believe I'm pushing the pace for 5 rounds, and she needs to be ready for 25 minutes. As for her not making weight, I really haven't even thought about it, to be honest. She's a professional athlete taking, 2.5 years off. Now that you got me thinking about it, I just hope, she knows what to do and she knows what she needs to be at when she steps on the scale.
You bring up the 2.5 years, though. How much does that benefit you that every 4 to 6 months you've been active, you've been competing?
I think she's going to have some cage rust. She's been doing a few Muay Thai fights, and we all know that Muay Thai is totally opposite than, fighting in the cage and cardio-wise and nonstop working. But like I said, I know she's a professional athlete and she's been training. But I do imagine there will be a little cage rust that night and a little nerves. It's going to be in front of a big crowd. And, first time females are the co-main event for RFA. So I'm excited.
In that first title fight, so have you thought of what it would be like to earn that right, to get that title, inaugural Women's RFA Strawweight Champion?
Yeah, I think about it every night. I think about the belt going around my waist. I think about the belt going everywhere with me. I just want to bring it back to my teammates in the lab and my family, I can't stop thinking about it. Luke Sanders, 135 RFA belt. We're going to get all the belts, in the MMA lab, so I'm excited.
And then just tell us a little bit more about the gym, what it's like training in that Shark Tank. I know it's an amazing camp out there.
Yeah, we all train together. A lot of people, I know it's different at some gyms, but we're there together, the whole team, 2 times a day. In the morning, all of us are there, from Yatzin Meza, Efren Escondero, Ben, all of us are doing our strength and conditioning together, and then later on in the day we have pro practice. The gym's closed during that time. Only the professionals are allowed in there from 3 to 5, and it's nonstop grinding. And if you look at our roster, we have 21 people that are in the UFC, so we're constantly pushing each other. And us, being, fighting for RFA and things like that, I know what I need to do to get that call from Sean Shelby, because I have such a good team around me and good coach. I love everybody there, so John Crouch is an amazing coach, and it's awesome.
I know it's probably something out of your mind, but you expect that call to be coming sooner rather than later for yourself?
I do. If I go in there and get this win like I picture, I keep imagining I'm working my ass off for, they're going to call. It's going to be soon. And like I said, if I know that I'm what I need to do, and I've been doing it since I've been under John Crouch for almost 4 years now. I've been putting in the work. It's a big saying at the MMA lab, substance over style. I don't care about all the other stuff of, just the outside world stuff. If I'm doing, A, B, C, to D inside the gym, and I know I'm putting 110%, then, why wouldn't they call?
Right, hard work pays off, and I'm sure you'll be there, but do you see yourself having the possibility of defending the title, or do you think winning the title is going to get the call?
Honestly, funny last night, I haven't even thought about that. If RFA and, UFC work closely together, the cool thing about that is if I get the call before I have to defend it, then, RFA is, they push you, they smile and say congratulations and say go, But if it doesn't happen and I got to defend it, then I would love it. Bring it on, you know. I mean, I need to stay active. I need to keep building my wins and, just keep winning, and the phone will ring.
Not wanting to get the game plan out of you, but what is a focal point, something you got to get done, you feel, to get that title at the end of the fight?
I need to come out, I need to be first. Bottom line, I got to come out, be first, and push the pace.
So we've talked about Zoila's Muay Thai. Is that the best attribute she's bringing into the cage?
I think so, but, she trains it all, but, she's known for her stand-up, just like I am, too. I'm hoping she meets me in the middle with Stan Bang.
That's a hope, but it's one of those things, it's hard to get your hopes up, because things like that always seem to disappoint people, right?
Well, yeah, when you start getting hit in the face repeatedly, then you kind of bend over and try to grab somebody's legs.
It happens. A punch changes everyone's game plan. Well, it's been great getting to talk to you, Jocelyn. Who did you need to shout out to? Who did you need to thank for as this title fight approaches?
I want to thank everybody at the MMA Lab. You guys know who you are. John Crouch, Randy Stinky for getting me ready. And thank my wife, Jana Jones, for always being there for me. And I'll see you guys in Vegas.
RFA 31, Access TV, October 9th. Everyone tune in or get to downtown in Las Vegas and watch it live. Thank you for the time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.